Hi everybody, my name is Shannon. Welcome to my channel, Another Yarn. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it. We made it to Sunday. And Sunday's a fun day. Well, every day is fun. I am playing with my yarn and my crafts and knitting and crocheting, looking at patterns, working on things, dreaming about working on things. That's really got me this last week, is dreaming about working on things more than actually working on them. But that's the fun part. So Sundays, what I've been doing is working on sleeves. This was a suggestion from some of you in the comments, says, hey, you've got a lot of sweaters that you're working on. How about working on some of those sleeves? Okay, I had a lot of vests. Not intentional vests, but something about the sleeves, which is weird because a sleeve is like a sock and I do socks. But I grovel about those too. I still do them, but I grovel on them, you know. They're not really that bad, by the way. Anyway, I didn't want to work on my sleeves. I didn't even grab and, figure out my sweaters. That's another thing we need to do is I need to grab my sweaters and everything and do another lineup for those and see how many sweaters I have in the works, whether I'm working on them or not. We know how that goes. And yeah, I didn't want to work on my sweaters. What's been getting me, and you guys already know this for the last couple of days, is teddy bears. I want to work on teddy bears, but I haven't decided on the teddy bear. So I have, where'd he go? So I have my little guy. No, I didn't even finish him. That's so sad. He just needs arms. He's just, there you go. But you know what? The lack of arms did not stop him. We went on an adventure the other day. He got to play with all the flowers. He got to go rock climbing. He got to play at the park. He got to ride down the slide. He didn't need arms. We're good. He's fine. He did great. He did. Looks more like a puppy. Not gonna lie, looks like a puppy. How would we change the arms, by the way, if we wanted to keep him as a puppy? Because that looks like a puppy. Do you put like little short arms and put them in the front right here as opposed to little arms on the side? I think that'd be like the same, wouldn't they? You just maybe put them more towards the front. I mean, he really does look like a puppy. Look at that. With those ears like that, that may be more like a bear. I don't know, but that looks like a puppy. Anyway, I don't know. So I'm wanting to do a bear, and I'm wanting to do a knit bear. Well, I know. So of course I started doing crochet bears because that makes sense, right? I want to knit a bear and instead I crochet one. And I didn't want to do one as large as this one. Let me move my crochet alien down. This one is, look, see, got Christmas ornament and everything. This is the Polska bunny and love this. I love everything about how this one is created. I love the shaping of it. I love the size. There's even patterns to make the clothes. I bought the patterns to make the clothes, but did you know that when you buy the patterns, they don't make themselves? Just because you collect them does not mean you will have finished projects faster. Ask me how I know. Anyway, so this one is stunning. I mean, this is just such a nice bear. Love this. And this is a pattern on Etsy. Paid for pattern that you can get off of Etsy. There's all sorts of other designs. Like I said, clothing, everything else. Love this one. But I didn't want to make something as large as this. Absolutely. Did I mention how much I love this one? This is why it's always right here, right? This one was in my first video too, just sitting there with me on my very first video a little over 2 years ago. So wanted to do a bear, wanted to knit a bear. So of course I started crocheting one. And that's not the first one. I started to crochet it with the chenille yarn. I got the feet. I got a third foot around here. I don't know what happened to it. It's okay. I have a third foot around here too, but I got the little chenille feet. Wouldn't that be adorable? Look at that. And this is the Just Yarn, Premier's Just Yarn that I got at our dollar store. Not the local one. My local one doesn't have yarn. Anytime we go out of town or something and I check them out, that's where I got it. But yes, theirs is really, really cute. All right. Not hard, quick to make and everything. I got my feet. And the other cool thing about making these things, for me anyway, I don't have to worry about it. I have a granddaughter that likes these little parts and pieces, and if I leave them around, she will use them in her own little crafts and projects. So I don't personally care if I even finish this little one. I don't. I could just leave them and create a bag of parts and pieces just for her to see what she does with it. And I love that idea. Somebody in the comments had suggested that I do that, and that it's in and of itself could be a finished project. Parts, a bag of parts, right? Some assembly needing to be required, right? But isn't that what a skein of yarn is? Some assembly needs to be required, need acquired, right? We take the skein of yarn, we make it into something. So I don't know if this is going to get a body or anything. I'm not really sure. We need to put some arms on this, maybe, maybe not. I mean, it has not slowed him down. He has been an adventurous little bear. So those are my crocheted things that I was working on. I finally settled. I'm going to put this back. Okay, it's going to fall. I finally settled on which bear I wanted to work on. I love the fact that that does that. Look at that. See? It's my iPad. Look at that. I feel fancy. I don't know why. I just feel fancy. There you go. That was like one of the best things, was getting the keyboard for the iPad. You know, any other time, never really used them. Always use the, you know, the iPad, whatever, but didn't use the keyboard type thing. Yeah, we had some. This one, I use it all the time. Love it. So I did settle on one of them, and it's this fat little teddy bear. That is the one I bought. Absolutely adorable. And I see, how much is the pattern right now? It is a paid for pattern on Etsy. See, you know, if I cut myself off from Ravelry, I've got Etsy. Just saying. Just, yeah. Some of you know what I'm getting at. You know. Yeah, so went on Etsy looking for the teddy bears, and let's see how much is that one right now. I paid $2 something for it, $2 and some odd cents for it because it was on sale. And, oh yeah, $2.33. Well, because of tax. And right now, as you can see, there you go. So it is still on sale. And even full price, it says it's $5.41. But right now, it says 19 more hours. We don't know. The timer could continue. You know what I'm getting at, right? It's Etsy. But right now, it's $2.16. I paid $2.33 with tax, or maybe exchange rate. Don't know. But that is the one that I wanted to work with. And I did start it. I didn't grab my new yarns quite yet. Well, because, yeah. Anyway, this is what I'm using. It's called Onion. This intrigued me when I got it. I got it a long time ago. And I have it in 3 colors. I have this light gray, I have a darker gray, and almost a black. They're fingering weight skeins. This is alpaca plus merino wool plus nettles. That to me absolutely intrigued me. That and the fact that your name brand is Onion Knits. I mean, that's bold. That is bold. Just saying. So on this, the composition, 30% superfine alpaca, 50% fine merino wool, 20% nettle fibers, 50 grams, 175 meters. Got it. And the pattern does call for a thin fingering weight yarn using size 1 2.25 millimeter needles. Sweet. Got it. So I started. Yeah, I did. Question my sanity. Question my sanity. Look, there's my face. Okay, there you go. That's my face. How cute is that? So I'm gonna have to, let's expand this. As my little face, I'm going to have to sew eyeballs on it. They use like beads because it is tiny, right? And sew the little nostril or the nose on it. Let's see. We know how beautiful I did on this. So we got some problems. We got some issues, but it's going to happen. So I have that to do, and obviously my ears and stuff, but I have a ball. And I worked on it some more. I went past the ball. Where'd the other piece go? Another piece. And then here, so questioning my sanity. Can you count the rows in black? I mean, it's not black. It's black enough. I have a body. It looks like a little egg. Look at the shape of this thing. Let me put that down. Don't lose the little head ball. Don't want to make another one. Look at that. Obviously, I don't want to cut my yarns yet, my ends yet, because I'll use these for sewing things with. Yeah, something like that. But here's my little shape. Here's my body. And it is interesting. It looks like a makeup sponge to me. Yeah. I think that's the front, but it looks like a makeup sponge. And I don't know how it's going to go yet. Probably like this. And once I get the other, okay, that doesn't look right. A little floppy. We're gonna have to, short of tape, staples and tape, we can get that done. But not really sure on that, how that's gonna look yet, but we got this. And I started on one of the legs. I need to get stuffing for it. I have stuffing, I just didn't have stuffing right there with me, and then I had to make dinner because we wanted to eat. It's weird how that works. So here's my dark color. Look at that. So these are the same. Look at these colors. Pretty. Yeah. So that is this. And I just have to stuff my little leg. How about I take out a needle or two? All right. I can do this. I got this. I feel like a child. All right. So here's the little Here's the little guy right there. Okay, left that. I'll just use that as stuffing, you know, push that on the inside. But here's my little leg of that. And this thread is just the marker for me. But I've got the leg. Now let's put that next to. Okay, so teddy bears are amazing. It doesn't take much and you're like, oh, I get it now. Look, see, right? You just stab that right there. I mean, it's okay. But put that right there, sew that there. Yeah, that's starting to shape up. And these are like little tiny, there you go. All right, and you put the little arm there. Okay, that's gonna be cute. That's gonna be really cute. And it's super tiny. But then again, it is fingering weight yarn. You can use any yarn you want to. We know that. Just because a pattern says fingering weight yarn, whatever, and it's a stuffed critter, whatever, it'll just be smaller. One of the reasons, you know, to do that, right? You can use any yarn you want. If you don't like using small yarn and this is your pattern, cool. You're going to end up with an 8 to a 10-inch bear or something like that. I'm not sure the size, but you're going to end up with something as adorable, just absolutely cute. It'll just be bigger and more huggable. That's all. So I do want to make another one. Says the person with, have we discussed my parts? Have we discussed these parts? This like little menagerie animal kingdom parts that nothing's done. I mean, I sewed the ears on. And the muzzle. I'm proud. The body of this one and the head, that was all one piece. But the muzzle and the ears were separate and I did it. I just have to make arms. Maybe we'll get to it. I don't know. He's already gone on an adventure just like that. He's cool. So on this, back to what we were talking about, our little knit bear. The insanity of working with a very dark yarn when it tells you to do 10 rounds of something. I don't know. You know, yeah. Okay, that's with the light and really close. I don't know. No clue. So I use the markers and I counted as far as that goes. So take that into consideration when you use dark yarn. You probably already know that. You probably already avoid dark yarns like the plague. I was not thinking about it. I just wanted this particular yarn because it does have a bit of a fuzz to it. Not huge, but it does have a little bit. And what I was thinking is when I'm done, I could do this, you know, scratching it, kind of brush a little bit and get that to fuzz up just a tad and just let those fibers just really stick out. And I think that would be amazing. So that's where we're at on this. So I finally made a decision. Had I made a decision earlier, I could have gotten farther with it. We know how that goes. Had I used the same color, you know, like a lighter color the first time I was working with it, I could have gotten farther with it. Oh well, it's fine. This is going to be cute. I think I need to make a bunch of them. Well, yeah, because I haven't even gotten into my new yarn, right? I've got all the cool teddy bear yarn. This is amazing to work with. This is a fun one for that. And I didn't really have a use for it. Well, I have 3 of them. I just didn't know what I wanted to do with it. And I've had these for years. And I think I've commented on that before. Why are we saving the good stuff, right? This is an alpaca blend. It's absolutely wonderful. I bought it years and years ago. Had no clue what to do with it. Why can't I make teddy bears with it? Why can't I make a stuffed something with it? You know, I can do hats with it, fingerless mitts. I'll have plenty of yarn left. I can do all sorts of things. So, you know, I have three balls, different colors, different shades, but never did anything with it. Well, why do I have to use fill in the blank on what type of yarn you think that is appropriate for amigurumi? Why do I have to use that? Why can't I use anything that I have? It's kind of like people talk about socks and sock yarn and what's a good sock yarn. Sure, there are definitely better yarns for socks than others, but that does not mean you can't make socks with single ply cashmere yarn. Of course you can. Now, I would recommend if you did that, those would be what I prefer to call feet in the air socks. And what I mean by that, get your mind out of the gutter, it's not dirty. But feet in the air socks are, you are sitting in your favorite chair, you've got your feet up on the ottoman, you have a beverage of choice, you have to have the pinky up. I'm just saying you have to. Doesn't matter if it's orange juice, spiked, not spiked, does not matter, right? And you've got that, and you know, the music, if you like music, the music's on a certain way, the lights are just dimmed or what have you. It is the luxury. That is where you're waiting, you're getting servants, you know, even if that's your kids, right? Kids, husband, whatever, bring me this, get me that type of situation. And you don't move. You don't walk on those socks. You can do that, right? You can. Now, those are not work socks. Those are not something that you would want to put into shoes and to walk on. Again, feet in the air socks. So you can do anything you want to with your yarns. You can make anything you want to. It doesn't matter if somebody tells you, hey, that's not appropriate. You can do it. It just might wear out quicker than other things. Just depends on how you want to use it. If you're making something for an art piece or a display piece, the stuffed animal, there are different types of yarns. Who am I making this for? Now, it is really, really funny. I have a niece, and I made a stuffed bear just a couple years ago. Absolutely adorable. And it was about this high. And I gave that to her. And it was a hand-dyed sock yarn. And, you know, a lot of the hand-dyed sock yarns are better to be hand-washed, not necessarily throw in the wash machine and dryer and what have you. Now, this young girl, about 10 years old, she had asked me when I gave that to her, hey, is this washable? And I'm like, oh, what terrors are you going to do with that teddy bear? What child asks that? What was she going to do with that? So of course I was not thinking those things. I'm like, hand wash would be good, you know, because I gave it in the spirit of that. You know, generally my stuffed animals that are here do not go through the washing machine a bunch, and they're not playing outside in the mud piles, but whatever. Kids do all sorts of things. I don't know if that teddy bear made it. You know what I'm getting at? I don't know. But it was made with love, and it was given with love. And what happens after that? If it gets loved into shreds, it gets loved into shreds. So there is that. I'm not really sure. So once I get this piece done, let's see, once I get my teddy bear done, then I can start working on my new yarn. And I'm really excited. I want to grow. Words are hard today. I really want to play with that too. Let's see, where's my little, all right. So we can see that's my body. I think I did pretty good with the body. It looks like that. And I just have to stuff the little leg and gather that up and obviously make the second leg. So I'm moving right along. It's getting there. It is getting there. And what yarn did they use? Did they tell you the yarn? Or did they just tell you the yardage? I don't remember that. Okay. iPad doesn't want to play. Yarn. Yarn for, oh, it's the yarn that I have problems pronouncing. It's this brand. It's this brand of yarn is what they used. Yes, that brand of yarn of the cotton acrylic. Yep. So that brand of yarn, cotton acrylic, and they used beads and double pointed needles, 2.5 millimeter needles. I got the 2.25 because that's the double points that I had and easier to grab hold of. And there we have it. I'm working on it. It's gonna be a thing. And then hubby heard my video yesterday. He watches all of them, but he also does everything else, so he doesn't always hear what's going on, right? It's just kind of in the background. He heard me talking about the Winnie the Pooh, and he was saying, hey, sweetie, you really do need to work on that. You needed to get your yarn, and you need to make the Winnie the Pooh. So I've got my prototypes going because I couldn't decide on the bear. So I've got my little prototypes going. I've got my other things going. And he's like, I think the next bear that you do, you need to make a Winnie the Pooh one and then make the little top with it and everything else. You need to have that. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. And the goal with these was, hey, you have, talking to myself, I have a lot of large projects going on at the moment. So the whole thing, this whole exercise in my mind, it's not working. It's not working. Was how about grabbing onto something a little bit smaller that you can get done just a little bit quicker and have something finished and go, yay, there you go. You got that sense of accomplishment, because there are so many large things that I am working on. And evidently there's something in me that's like, nope, not going to happen. I mean, it doesn't get much smaller and faster and easier and cuter. You can get one of these done in about an hour, hour and a half if you're just going to sit down and do it. Yeah, that didn't happen. No, it did not happen. So there's a block going on, but that's okay. I'm still crafting. I'm just not finishing anything at the moment, but I am still crafting. I am still making things. And we know from previous videos, I will come back to these things and get some stuff done, or leave parts and pieces for my granddaughter, especially if it's an amigurumi situation. Leave those parts and pieces out. She'll take care of the rest. I kind of like that idea too. sparking the creativity in the next generation. It's all on how you spin it. We're going to market it like that. Yeah, that's exactly how that's going to work. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go because I'm excited to go grab some more stuffing and work on this and then play with this yarn. All right, so that's my fluffy yarn, but the ones I really want to play with, where's the white one at? Ah, the white one's over there. I really want to play with this stuff. The Mode by Rowan. I've not worked with it before. Touching it is like a cloud, and I want to play with that. And I think going with this route first was a good call to understand the pattern, get through any kinks, quirks, problems, or what have you. I did find one mistake in the pattern. I'll have to get with the designer. It was written as decrease, and it meant to be increase, and it's pretty obvious. But hey, that'll mess you up. Okay, it took me a few minutes. I'm like, that doesn't work. The numbers don't work. The numbers don't work. That's because you have to increase. That makes total sense. So it was really nice to do that with that yarn before going to this. I don't know because I haven't worked with this, but I think this would not be as easy to frog when you make a mistake, right? Especially when you're working with a brand new pattern, and you can make mistakes. That's how that works. I don't think this is going to pull out as easily. So not the first thing that you want to, hey, I've never done this pattern before. I don't know if there's any quirks in it. I don't know if there's any issues in it. So that is the reason that I did that one. Even with that, I should have gone with, I say that, but no, you can tell I don't mean it. But I should have gone with a different yarn that was maybe a little bit larger, maybe not black, right? And something like that, but that's the one I wanted. And I have found too that if I don't grab the one that I want, then there's a chance it's not going to get done. And even with amigurumi, even when I grab the thing that I want, there's a chance it's not going to get done. So we don't need the double whammy of yarn I'm not crazy about for that project, because we know the yarn has to match the project, or the best that we can. Yeah, so yeah, it's enough excuses. That's totally enough excuses. I'm just procrastinating. I have spent the entire week obsessed with teddy bears, and all I have is like a graveyard of teddy bear pieces, and I don't have a full teddy bear. I just have parts and pieces. So I have to buckle down and finish a teddy bear so I can move on from this phase, because it is just stifling at the moment. I am obsessed. So maybe when I get a full, complete, absolutely adorable teddy bear done, I can move on. Yeah, we don't believe that, do we? No, we don't. No, we don't. It is worth a shot. With that, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. You guys have a great day, night, evening, whatever it happens to be. And I will talk to you again later. Bye-bye.